Hello, and welcome back to Awful Movie Reviews.
You up kind of early?
The tagline of this week's movie is, just when you thought it was safe to go back into the water, you can't get to it. So, you've guessed it. We're back with another awful ripoff that tried to cash in on the success of Jaws, a bit like Devilfish, which I reviewed about a year ago. Blood Beach is another of those countless films, and even though it stars John Saxon, who gives a good performance as always, it's nowhere near enough to carry the rest of the film, which is a boring dud that should be buried in the sand and never talked about again.
Yeah, you fucking talking, Captain.
But just before we get going, if there's a bad movie you would like me to review, just leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts and feelings on Blood Beach.
Give me a break. I'm not Superman.
On a small Californian beach, everything is going perfectly well until people start to disappear under mysterious circumstances. There's something in the sand grabbing innocent folks and eating them. No one can figure out what's doing this.
And it's very possible that no one will ever know.
Almost 10 people go missing, but the local authorities still don't close off the beach to the public. Not a great move on their part.
I can't do nothing for you.
Although with law enforcement like this guy, I'm not surprised. An annoyingly bad stereotype of a working class Chicagoan. So cringe.
So why are we kidding around here?
This is basically Jaws in the sand, but it's Jaws without the A-list cast, without the memorable music, without the terrific cinematography, nor the nail-biting suspense or the terrific special effects. Basically, Blood Beach tries to be Jaws, but it zaps out all of the great things that made Jaws such a classic.
I didn't see much of anything, Cap.
Instead, it replaces it with bad performances, apart from John Saxon of course, very lousy pacing. Man, is this slower than watching a turtle marathon.
Yeah, it's just that this isn't going anywhere.
And some truly awful mixing. I don't know what happened to the microphone, but the dialogue is barely audible sometimes. I had to crank up the volume to understand what they were saying.
Yeah. That's working too.
Because sometimes it's all muffled up by the sound of the beach or the exterior.
Yeah.
The real problem is that it's packed with hella boring dialogue that just goes on and on and on. It goes on forever.
What did I do to deserve this?
And for a movie that's called Blood Beach, there isn't actually as much gore as the audience could expect, which was disappointing. I can't believe this movie lied to us.
It is true, it happens every day.
Another way this movie tries to copy Jaws is by not showing the killer creature until the very end. First of all, there's not much suspense, it doesn't work. And second of all, the monster looks like trash.
You get what you pay for.
It reminds me a bit of the alien from The Creeping Terror. I mean, what is this thing? We don't even get a very clear look at it before the Chicagoan detective blows it to pieces. I can understand that the producers had a low budget to work with and couldn't afford good special effects, but in this case, at least make up for it some other way, and that's precisely the problem. There's nothing else that is remotely interesting. The movie lets us starve to death. The wife of the main character, Harry, falls prey to that monster in the sand as it devours her. And as she's being chomped by the creature, Harry is having some sort of romantic dinner with his ex, who he continues to see after learning about her death.
No sense of humor around here.
Bottom line, Blood Beach is just as trash as Devilfish. If you could die of boredom, Blood Beach would certainly be a killer. What an awful movie.